All right, guys, well, let me get this all set up. We're going to look at Jim's knife. I'm going to do the... All right, guys, so I got everything set up. We had a little bit of technical difficulties with the previous intro. I might actually see if I can try and use it. There might be some... I bumped the cord that's plugged into the camera, and the camera was just sitting on something. But what we're here to talk about today is Jim Skelton's Deadpool knife. The second coolest, in my opinion, Masterblaster out there. So stick around, here comes music, turn your volume down, and I'll see you in a second. So as you guys know, I have a Masterblaster. I talked to Jim Skelton, and you guys know I like Jim. He's a really good guy. He allowed me to borrow his Deadpool knife. So now if you were to look at this, you can tell exactly what that is. That's Deadpool. So we're going to take the camera, we're going to turn around, because there's not a lot to be said about this knife, except it's pretty awesome. There were very few deviations or changes in this knife that are any different than my Masterblaster. So we'll talk about this. We'll get it turned around. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I think I am gonna use the footage from where I screwed up and knocked the camera down. What happened was, cord was plugged in, I knocked it down. I think I am gonna come up with a creative way to, at this point you probably have already seen, I'm gonna try and find a creative way to utilize that footage just for fun. So let's get this turned around and we'll take a look at the two versions of the Masterblaster I have here, which are both customized. Mine's a lot heavier customized. It's been carved and everything. But let's turn around and take a look at these two knives. So guys, we have a treat because we have two of the coolest Masterblasters that were made. There is one that is every bit as cool, but my buddy Pip did his own. He did a Mandalorian Masterblaster, and it's all different colors and looks like Boba Fett's helmet. So we're going to look at some of the differences. Mine's got a different pocket clip, so does Jim's. Then the basic standard model, his is a milled clip. But let's look at this. So Chris and Elliot wanted to do something special for Jim. The Deadpool movie was coming out, and they did their Flying V scale pattern with a specialized pivot, and then just did all of this ceramic and everything to match the Deadpool look. Now, here's the thing about, we're going to talk about this again because this is basically a maker's choice. This is basically a refinished, slightly modified version, but there's no actual physical changes to this knife. All of these knives are essentially the same. The guts of these knives, everything that's in them is the same. My pocket clip's a little different than any of the other ones that are out there. Elliot shortened it, made it a little bit different. His is a milled, but I mean, basically they are the same when it comes down to it. So these are cool because Elliot has done some themed knives before. He's done a Mandalorian Mako. He's done several Mandalorian style knives. He's done the Deadpool knife, and it's always cool just the subtlety. This one's not quite as subtle. I mean that's the Deadpool logo basically. So this one's not as subtle as some of the others, but he's done subtle themed knives where you look at it and you're like, hey, that's something that I recognize. You guys know I like Ferrum Forge. May as well have the logo in there since there's two Ferrum Forge knives there. So basically these knives are basically the same knife. But this is kind of where this is what I like about what they do, and I started just refinishing. Sorry about that, I'm bumping stuff. I started refinishing knives because of things like this, where I saw that you could make a knife unique to an individual and not have it be that much different. It doesn't have to be a different knife, but it definitely has some different qualities and the subtlety of it. And so I just kind of wanted to take a look at that. I love this knife. When I saw this knife the first time, I was like, wow, they really captured the Deadpool aesthetic in this knife. And it came out amazing. Now, Jim's knife is pristine. It has not seen a lot of use. There's some adhesive on there at the tip. You can see he opened a couple boxes with it. There might be a little bit of wear on some of the ceramic in places like there. Maybe some scratches. But I think most of that is just stuff that just could be cleaned off. Yeah, that's just adhesive. That might be an actual scratch. So Jim's knife has gotten, yeah, you can see it on both sides. Jim's knife has gotten some use. But these things are cool because these knives were the first time that I saw these more subtle ones. Saw people doing something that was the same knife, but with, I mean, you got to remember, this was the first batch of the Masterblaster, or the Masterblaster was the first batch that I was really hanging out at the shop a lot and saw the Maker's Choice process and things like that. But there's something I've always been curious about, because I know my knife has that big copper inlay. We're going to look at difference in weight between a carved, it's not really so much fair, this is an inlaid. We'll see how much difference is in this. We are in ounces. We use Freedom units here. 5 1/4. I've never compared it to a pretty stock 5 1/4. So, the addition of the copper has been completely nullified by the fact that he carved it. So, yeah, the Deadpool knife was the first one that I saw of those knives that I was like, I want to hang on to that. I offered to sharpen it for Jim. When they got ready to ship it, I was like, please just let me sharpen it, because I wanted to bring it home and have it on the channel. This was going to be one of the first really cool, like, superhero-esque knives that we had on the channel. And Jim is now allowing me to do it. It's just, I got nothing much really to say about it. It's just, it's gorgeous. Everything about it is just about perfect. And I really wanted to have it on the channel to show you guys how cool this knife is. And the fact is, when you look at this, with love, Eric and Elliot and Chris. So this was one that they did special for. That they did special for Jim. So, you know, I mean, but guys, that's basically it. It's not going to be a long video. I wanted to think, I tried to sit and think about what I wanted to say about this knife, and there's nothing I can say about this knife that is outside of what's in the original Masterblaster video. Hang on a second. Let me do this turn. What I was saying is there's nothing I can really say about this knife that's outside of what I said in the original YouTube video that I did about the Masterblaster a while back. I think I used Nico's as guest blade because I didn't have a Masterblaster at that time. So it's just 100% the, look at this. There are no flaws or errors. It's 100% attention to detail, and it came out gorgeous. And I've just always wanted to get to see it again. I got to see it while it was getting made. I got to see the pivots get made. This was the first knife, and the reason I really like this knife, this is the first knife at Fair and Forged that I saw to completion. This specific knife. They were working on it every time I went up there, and I saw the progression. Like, I'd seen other knives, but they work on so many knives at a time. There's some knives that get specific attention to, you know, extra attention. That's a specialized pivot, all that stuff. And so with that, I always wanted to just have it on the channel, just so that I could see it and show it and see if my lust for it has, you know, stood the test of time. And I'm got to tell you, it's awesome, but it hasn't, because once I got this, which was truly made mine, then I was thoroughly over my Deadpool knife. I'm lying. I fucking love it. It's fucking awesome. I love Deadpool. I love the knife. It's really cool. You can't find a cooler Masterblaster. You can. I mean, I wouldn't trade them, but this, it's amazing. And so I know you guys get tired of seeing the Fair and Forged stuff, but anything that comes in that makes me smile like this, even though I own the same knife, there's a lot to be said for that, and that's why I wanted to do it. I wish mine had the jimping. I wish mine had the jumps. All the jumps. I need all the jumps. Not the gimps. Not the gimps. All right, guys, that's it. I mean, it was it was destined to happen. I tried to sit around. I told Jim I was going to do this video today. I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll get it today or tomorrow. Talking about today or Friday, Thursday or Friday. And I was like, but the thing is, I can't. I mean, I'm sorry, today's Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday, I meant. And I was like, I can't really come up with anything new except the fact that it's fucking awesome. And that's one of the things that you can do. And with Fair and Forge, it's one of those things that like every knife that leaves, basically, you get your own spin on it. It's your individual knife. There may be one or two every once in a while that are duplicated but still, the way the process works, there's no two that are duplicated. So, Jim, I would say thank you for this, for letting me borrow this. I will get it back to you. I apologize that it took a couple weeks to get around to the video, but you know, I've had other people send stuff on the channel that they're like, did that knife did show up, right? So, guys, that's it. End of the video. I did 2 live feeds today. I know you guys saw them. I was still thinking about what I wanted to say in this video. So if you like the video, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. In this corner will be a video that YouTube thinks you like. I believe down here I'm going to make a link to Super Seal Steve's channel this time as opposed to Ashton. I've done Ashton the last couple videos. It's just hard to pick. So YouTube thinks you like Super Steel Steve or Ashton. Down here will be a not a GoFundMe, will be a Patreon link, and up here will be a subscription link to my channel. And if you guys want to try and help my daughter's ice skating, there will be a link to her GoFundMe in the description below. I love you guys. Have a good day. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.